Boruch Alan Bermowitz, June 23, 1938 – July 16, 2016, known professionally as Alan Vega, was an American vocalist and visual artist, primarily known for his work with the electronic protopunk duo Suicide. Life and career. Alan Bermowitz was raised in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn, until the announcement of the 70th birthday release of his recordings in 2008. Vega was widely thought to have been 10 years younger. The 2005 book Suicide, No Compromise lists 1948 as his birth year and quotes a 1998 interview in which Vega talks about watching Elvis Presley on The Ed Sullivan Show. 1956. As a little kid. A 1983 Los Angeles Times article refers to him as a 35-year-old, and several other sources also list 1948 as his birth date. Two 2009 articles confirmed his 1938 birth date, one in Le Monde about the Lion exhibit and one in the magazine Rolling Stone. Vega also long claimed to be Catholic due to his mother's Puerto Rican ancestry. Although themes of Catholicism were important to his lyrics and visual art over the years. In a 2008 interview with the Jewish Chronicle, he admitted he lied about his own religious upbringing to fuel the myth. In the late 1950s, he attended Brooklyn College where he studied both physics and fine art under Ad Reinhardt and Kurt Seligman and graduated in 1960. In the 1960s, he became involved with the Art Workers Coalition, a radical artists group that harassed museums and once barricaded the Museum of Modern Art. In 1969, funding from the New York State Council on the Arts made possible the founding of Museum, a project of living artists, an artist-run 24-hour multimedia gallery at 729 Broadway in Manhattan. Calling himself Alan Suicide, he graduated from painting to light sculptures, many of which were constructed of electronic debris. He gained a residency at the O.K. Harris Gallery in Soho where he continued to exhibit until 1975. Barbara Gladstone continued to show his work well into the 1980s. Seeing the Stooges perform at the New York State Pavilion in August 1969 was an epiphany for Vega. In 1970, he met and befriended Martin Reverby. Together, the two began experimenting with music and formed the band Suicide along with guitarist Paul Liebgott. The group played twice at Museum before moving on to the O.K. Harris Gallery. Calling himself Nasty Cut, he used the terms punk music and punk music mass in flyers to describe their music, which he adopted from an article by Lester Bangs. In 1971 the group dropped Paul Liebgott and added Mari Reverby on drums, though she didn't play in their live performances, with Bermowitz finally settling on Alan Suicide as a working name. They began to play music venues. Suicide went on to perform at the Mercer Arts Center, Max's Kansas City, CBGB and ultimately achieve international recognition. In 1980, Vega released his eponymous first solo record. It defined the frantic rockabilly style that he would use in his solo work for the next several years, with the song "Jukebox Babe" becoming a hit single in France. In 1985, he released the more commercially viable Just a Million Dreams, but was dropped from his record label after its release. The album originally was set to be produced by Rick Ocasek as a follow-up to the critically acclaimed Saturn Strip, 1983, but production switched over to Chris Lord. Aljan Vega ran into several difficulties during the recording sessions. The album eschewed many of Vega's experimental traits in favor of power pop songs, and he later lamented, "They took all my songs and turned them into God knows what." Quote, Vega teamed up with Martin Rev and Rico Kasek again in the late 80s to produce and release the third Suicide album, A Way of Life. 1988. Visual artist Stefan Roloff produced a music video for the song Dominic Christ, which was released by Wax Trax Records, and Suicide went overseas to promote the album by performing the song Surrender in Paris, which was aired on French television. Shortly thereafter, Vega met future wife and music partner Elizabeth Lemire while piecing together sound experiments that would evolve into his fifth solo album, Juice Avenue. 1990. Juice Avenue marked his return to minimalist electronic music, similar to his work with Suicide, in which he combined drum machines and effects with free-form prose. Over the next decade he would release several more solo records as well as perform with Suicide. In 2002, art dealer Jeffrey Deitch tracked him down after a couple of his Young Gallery employees gushed over a Suicide gig at the NYC Button Factory. Vega constructed Collision Drive, an exhibition of sculptures combining light with found objects and crucifixes. Vega's 10th solo album, Station, was released on Blast First Records in 2007 and was described by his colleagues as his hardest, heaviest album for quite a while. All self-played and produced. Quote, in 2008, British label Blast First Petite released a limited edition Suicide 6 CD box set and monthly tribute series of 10 inches vinyl EPs. To mark the occasion of Alan Vega's 70th birthday, musicians who contributed to the tribute series included The Horrors, Lydia Lunch, Primal Scream, and Miss Kitten. In 2009, the Museum of Contemporary Art in Lyon, France, mounted Infinite Mercy, a major retrospective exhibit of Vega's art. This included the screening of 2 short documentary films, Alan Vega, 2000, by Christian Hütlein, and Auto de Lan Vega, Extraits, 1998, by Hugues Peyret. In 2012, Vega suffered a stroke that, and problems with his knees, led him to focus on less physically demanding art, such as painting, rather than music. He continued to live in downtown New York City. In 2016, Vega made a low-key comeback to music by contributing vocals to the song Tangerine on French pop veteran singer Christophe's album Les Vestiges du Chaos. Religious views. On Vega's religious views, he was raised in the Jewish faith, but declared himself to be Catholic for many years due to his mother's upbringing. When asked about God, he stated, "I distrust the name God, but yes, I do believe in a higher power. God is in all of us," he says, before deciding, "There is an immense power. There has to be." Quote, he also shared the views of Spinoza, the pantheist philosopher. Death. Vega died in his sleep on July 16, 2016 at the age of 78. His death was announced by musician and radio host Henry Rollins, who shared an official statement from Vega's family on his website. Discography. For recordings made with Suicide, please see Suicide discography. Albums. Alan Vega, 1980. Collision Drive, 1981. Saturn Strip, 1983. With Rico Kasek and Al Jurgensen. Just a Million Dreams, 1985. With Chris Lord Alge. Juice Avenue, 1990. With Liz Lemire. Power On to 0 Hour, 1991. With Liz Lemire. New Ration, 1993. With Rico Kasek and Liz Lemire. Dojang Prang, 1995. With Liz Lemire. 2007. 1999. With Liz Lemire. Station, 2007. With Liz Lemire. IT, 2017. With Liz Lemire. Collaboration albums. Dead Man, 1994, with Mercury Rev. Cubist Blues. 1996, with Alex Chilton and Ben Vaughan. Getcha Keats. 1996, with Rick Ocasek and Gillian McCain. Endless. 1998, with Pansonic as Vinio Vasan Vega. Righteous Light. 1998, with Stephen Laroni as Revolutionary Core of Teenage Jesus. Re-Up. 1999, with Etam Donez, Lydia Lunch and Genesis P-Orridge. Resurrection River. 2004, with Pansonic as VVV. Sniper. 2010, with Mark Hurtado, Etam Donez. Soundtracks. Somber. 1999, original score to the film by Philippe Grandrieux. Compilations. 2006 Silver Monk Time, a tribute to the Monks. 29 bands cover the Monks. Label Play Loud Productions. 2006 The Wire Tapper 16 free CD issued to subscribers of The Wire and available on some over-the-counter issues, but not all. 2008 Alan Vega 70th Birthday Limited Edition EP Series. Covers of Vega's work by Bruce Springsteen. Primal Scream, Peaches, Grinderman, Spiritualized, The Horrors, Sunno, plus Pansonic, Julian Cope, Lydia Lunch, Vincent Gallo, Liars and Klaxons. Bibliography. Vega, Alan. 1994. Cripple Nation. 2.13.61. ISBN 9781880985168. Vega, Alan. 2000. 100,000 Watts of Fat City. OCLC 469,640,909. Vega, Alan. 2010. Copeland, Matthew. Ed. Alan Suicide Vega, Infinite Mercy. Let You Dollar Pray. Dijon, France. Les Presses du Real. Vega, Alan. 2017. Ebook. Ed. Alan Vega, Conversation with an Indian. Le Texte Vivant. ISBN 9782367230443. Notes. Alan Vega at AllMusic. Alan Vega discography at Discogs. Alan Vega on IMDb. Vega, art by Alan Vega. Alan Vega, Infinite Mercy slideshow of the 2009 Lion retrospective. Infinite Mercy, Ada La Visite Guide to the 2009 Lion retrospective. Suicide Watched Village Voice interview for Collision Drive installment. 2002. Tony Fletcher and Alan Vega, all hopped up and ready to go on YouTube. Brooklyn Public Library. December 10, 2009. Auto de Vega, a documentary by Hughes Payret on YouTube.